Is your project this close to failure? You're not disorganized. You're just missing the only two tools that matter. So let's stop working buried under the mess. This framework is your unbreakable blueprint for success. We are going to transform all that chaos into two super clear, powerful tools. One, to figure out exactly what you need to do, and the other to schedule precisely when you're going to do it. It's time to get total control. You know the feeling, right? You're drowning in a project, deadlines are flying by, and the scope just keeps growing and growing. But what if I told you all that chaos, it's not inevitable? The way out is actually a simple two-part framework that gives you absolute clarity and control. Okay, first things first, we've got to lay the foundation. Before you can even dream about a schedule, you have to know without a doubt what you are building. And that, my friends, is where the work breakdown structure, or WBS, comes in. Think of it as the architectural blueprint for your entire project. All a WBS really does is break your big, intimidating project down into smaller, more digestible pieces. And here's the key. It's all about the what. We're only talking about the final deliverables. So for just a minute, forget about tasks, forget about schedules. This is just a complete, exhaustive map of everything you have to produce to call the project done. So check this out. It's basically a family tree for your project, right? You start with that big main goal at the very top, and then you just branch down level by level, breaking it into smaller and smaller parts until every single component has been identified. And that brings us to the golden rule of the WBS, the 100% rule. It's so simple but so important. Your WBS has to capture all the work, 100% of it, no more, no less. Each level of the tree has to perfectly add up to the level right above it. And this isn't just about being neat. This is your absolute best defense against scope creep and those oops, we forgot about that moments. Now, if you drill all the way down to the very bottom of this tree, you find what are called work packages. And these are the fundamental building blocks of your project. They're the smallest, most tangible pieces of work, small enough that you can actually get a handle on them and give a realistic estimate for how long they'll take and how much they'll cost. But a WBS isn't just a bunch of boxes on a chart. See, behind every single one of those boxes is something called the WBS dictionary. You can think of it like a super detailed instruction manual for each little part. It spells out exactly what needs to be done, what finished actually looks like, everything. This is how you get rid of all the guesswork. All right, so we've got our blueprint. We know exactly what we're building. Now it's time to build the assembly line. Knowing what to do is only half the battle. The Gantt chart is what tells us how and when. This is where the project really comes to life. You've probably seen a Gantt chart before. It's a really simple but honestly brilliant way to see your project schedule. It just lays out all your tasks against a timeline, and boom, you get this crystal clear, at-a-glance view of the entire project from start to finish. And it's so easy to read, right? You've got your tasks running down the side, and time just flows from left to right across the top. Each one of those bars represents a task, showing you exactly when it starts, when it's supposed to end, and how long it's going to take. But a Gantt chart is so much more than a pretty picture. It's a living, breathing tool. With it, you can track progress in real time, you can spot where tasks depend on each other, and you can make sure the right people are working on the right things at the right time. It's basically your project's command center. Okay, now for the magic moment. We have our architectural blueprint, that's the WBS, and we have our factory assembly line, that's the Gantt chart. Now it's time to connect the what to the when. And there it is, the whole picture. On the left, our WS gives us the what, every single thing we have to deliver. And on the right, the Gantt chart gives us the when, the schedule for making it all happen. You see, they're two perfect halves of the same whole. So let's just grab one of those work packages from our blueprint, one of those small, clearly defined pieces of our puzzle. And just watch, it snaps right onto our assembly line as a scheduled task. This connection is everything. Now, every single task on your schedule is tied directly to a specific deliverable. There are no more random tasks, no more what is this for, just a straight, clear line from scope to schedule. But wait. There's one more layer to this that gives you complete mastery over your deadline. It's called the critical path, and honestly, it's your project's secret weapon. Now, that might sound a little weird, doesn't it? The longest path through the project gives you the shortest possible time? Well, think about it like this. The critical path is the chain of tasks where each one has to finish before the next one can start. There's no overlap. So the total length of that chain determines the absolute minimum time your project is going to take. On the chart, the critical path is basically the sequence of tasks that have zero slack, zero wiggle room. Any delay on one of these tasks, even for a day, instantly pushes back your final deadline. Think of it like your project's main artery. If it gets blocked, the whole thing gets delayed. And this is the absolute key. The critical path tells you exactly where you need to focus your attention. While some other tasks might have a little flexibility, any slip up here, well, it directly impacts your final delivery date. This is where your focus matters most. So let's just bring it all home. When you pair the WBS with the Gantt chart, you're not just managing a project anymore. You're literally engineering its success with a level of control that feels like a superpower. Your WBS guarantees total scope accountability, so no surprises. Your Gantt chart gives you that clear line of sight on your progress, letting you pinpoint bottlenecks before they become disasters. You've officially gone from chaos to total, complete clarity. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is the bedrock principle of modern project management. You define the what before you schedule the when. It is the single most reliable way to deliver projects on time, on budget, and without losing your mind. So now you're not just a project manager anymore. You're an architect of success. You have the blueprint, you have the assembly line. The only question left is, what are you going to build?